Welcome to the video on phase 3 clinical trials. Earlier, the videos are available on phase 1, phase 2 clinical trials and also on the clinical trials overview. So, I request the viewers to watch those videos so that you will understand the clinical trials in detail. Before starting for the phase 3 clinical trials, we will quickly review or understand the phase 1 and phase 2 clinical trials. So phase 1 clinical trials are performed after completion of the IND application, and these phase 1 clinical trials are the research studies or clinical research studies in the small subject group. Phase 1 trials objective is to evaluate and assess the doses, drug safety, side effects of the new treatment. And the main aim of the phase 1 clinical trial is to determine the dose of the drug that is safe for the administration, that is the safest dose. And along with the dose evaluation, the phase 1 clinical trials monitors the side effects of the drug under study. Coming to the phase 2 clinical trial, the phase 2 study may make several months to 2 years and more than that, depending on the condition, treatment for the evaluation of the drug. The success of phase 2 study is required to go ahead for the phase 3 trials. And phase 2 clinical trials are performed in more number of subjects and participants than the phase 1 trials. The phase 2 trial results and outcomes are essential to determine whether the drug should go for the next phase, that is phase 3, or not, based on the effectiveness of the drug. The phase 3 clinical trials are performed in the large scale clinical study trials. Phase 3 trials are the pivotal type of studies. The phase 3 study may take some years depending on the condition of the treatment, condition of the disease, and the required outcome, and also depends on the evaluation of the drug. So now coming to the main part of this video, that is phase 3 clinical trials. So always understand that phase 3 clinical trials are the pivotal type of trials, and these are performed in the larger group of subjects. The phase 3 trials are the final stage and study on the large population or large scale before the regulatory approval. For starting the phase 3 clinical trials, the phase 1 and phase 2 data is to be up to the required mark, or it should be passing, and then we can move for the phase 3 clinical trials. The success of the phase 3 study is required to go ahead for the regulatory filing. Phase 3 clinical trials are done with the objective or are done with the aim to compare the new treatment with existing treatment or a placebo. So in the phase 3 clinical trials, the subjects are given the drug under evaluation, that is the drug which is undergoing the phase 3. Along with that, the existing treatment can be given and the placebo can be given so that it can be clearly understood and evaluated or demonstrated that the new drug is having more effectiveness or less side effects, or it is effective over the placebo. So these are the main objectives. Phase 3 study is performed to compare new treatment with the existing treatment, or to compare the new treatment with the placebo. Placebo means the formulation administered does not contain the drug. The phase 3 trials are done on the large population or large scale involving more subjects, and the subjects may be 300 subjects or more, or up to 3000 subjects or more. So it depends on to the drug being studied. And generally in the phase 3 clinical trials, the subjects or the participants are the patients with the disease condition for which the drug is indicated. For example, if you are going to evaluate an anti-diabetic drug in the phase 3, then the subjects will be with the diabetes depending on the drug indication. That may be type 1 diabetes or type 2. So it is like just an example I have given. So for which condition the drug is indicated, those patients are enrolled. In the phase 3 clinical trials, the randomization is done, and these are the controlled trials. So always remember that the phase 3 studies are randomized and controlled to ensure that the study results are unbiased and scientifically valid. And for getting the scientific valid data, unbiased data, the clinical trials are to be randomized and controlled, because on the basis of this data the drug will be applied, or new drug application will be done, and regulatory bodies will review the data and provide the approval. So the data should be very clear. Coming to the next important terminology, that is blinding. So blinding is done in the phase 3 studies. Blinding is also done to reduce the bias in the study. So there are two types, mainly single blind and double blind. And in phase 3 clinical trials, generally double blinding is done. So what is blinding? Blinding means the researcher or the subjects will not know whether they are receiving the treatment or placebo. So in single blind, the generally researchers know the treatment, but the subject don't know who is receiving the actual treatment and who is not. And in double blind, the researchers and also the subjects don't know who is receiving the actual treatment and who is not. So this is regarding the blinding. In the phase 3 clinical trials, the efficacy and the safety is studied on the large population for a longer period of time, so that it is clearly indicated or demonstrated that the drug under study is safe and have efficacy for the disease treatment. Efficacy is studied in the phase 3 studies by comparing the treatment outcome benefits with the current treatment and the placebos. And along with this efficacy, the side effects, adverse effects, and the long-term safety is also studied on the large and diverse population for a longer period. These trials require long period, like several years, to demonstrate the safety and efficacy of the drug treatment. So not only the efficacy is studied, but also the adverse effect, side effects are evaluated on the large population. Phase 3 clinical trials have the endpoints to determine the efficacy and safety. The endpoints measure the treatment success, and the endpoints are mainly reduction in the disease symptoms, improvement in the disease condition, and overall survival of the subject. The phase 3 trials are the pivotal studies for regulatory application and approval. So, in the phase 3 clinical trials, the safety and efficacy is demonstrated based on the clinical endpoints like improvement in the disease condition, reduction in the disease symptoms, and improvement or increase in the overall survival of the subjects. So this is the information regarding phase 3 clinical trial, and let's meet soon with phase 4 clinical trials. Thank you for watching the video, and please do like, share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.